Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what you want? This is what drives and navigates our decisions, our actions. Like like ET said, you getting out of that bed when you don't feel like it, when you hit that brick wall of life, these are the things that keep you going because we're all going to hit that brick wall. I used to tell y'all this all the time, but I'll continue to say it. Life doesn't get easier. We get stronger or not. It's your choice to get stronger, or you can just know that life will continue to get harder for you and you can get weaker and eventually life will knock you out. So when you hit that brick wall, when you hit that adversity, what keeps you going? Number one, you got to know what you want. You got to know what you're fighting for. You got to know why you're doing it. If you don't know why you're doing it or what you want to actually make happen, you won't do it after a while. We're trained, our brain is conditioned to run away from pain and seek pleasure. That's how we're conditioned. That's how our bodies are wired. You have to learn how to run into the pain and seek the discomfort and seek the scary things. You have to teach yourself, train yourself how to do that. Otherwise, naturally, you will head towards the thing that is more pleasurable and more comfortable and away from the things that are challenging and bring you more pain. So, knowing what you want, ladies and gentlemen, is the key. If you don't have it written down, I will highly encourage you again to write down exactly what you want. Write down what you want. Sitting on my desk, I have my master plan to energize and focus. It's 16 pages of everything that I want to make happen. Why I do this, my financial plan, my spiritual plan, my health plan, my business plan, my personal goals, all of it is sitting in here and I read it to myself on a daily basis. I miss a couple days here and there, but either way, right? You guys get the point. We're not perfect, but we make it happen. I read it all the time though. Why? Because I have to program myself with what I want to make happen. How do I get to the life that I don't need a break from? How do we design our ideal life? It starts with knowing what you want. Most people don't know what they want. What you want might be something someone told you want. What you want might be something that you think you might want, right? Because you see someone else that has it, but you might not have tapped in to exactly what you want to make happen. So that's number one. You got to make sure that you can do that, and then understand what are you willing to give up in order to make that happen. Everything has a price. Success in any area has a price. Success in your financial life has a price. Success in your health life has a price. What are you willing to give up? If you want to be successful in your health, well, you're probably going to have to give up some ways that you eat. You're probably going to give up some things that you've been consuming. You're probably going to have to give up a little bit of sleep to go to the gym a bit more. It's gonna be a sacrifice. You want to get ahead in your financial life. You want to see success in your financial life. You're gonna have to sacrifice some things. You're gonna have to sacrifice some meals out. You're gonna have to sacrifice some of the extra gifts that you're buying for people. You're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things if you want success in that area. So, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to the place that you want? You also have to believe that it's possible. That was a lot of stuff that ET was talking about. And I started the call kind of talking about we got to reprogram our beliefs. If you change your thinking, you change your life, right? And so we got to reprogram our beliefs. Do you even believe that you have what it takes to get to the life you want? Do you believe that it's possible, that the life that you want, the things that you want are even possible to have? That's inner work, right? That's work we got to do for ourselves to grow our belief system, to say it is possible. Whatever that thing is, I can make that happen. And then we have to wake up every day going after that thing, going after that life. In our text 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, it says the great ones have a sense of urgency, especially when it comes to our financial life, ladies and gentlemen, changing the trajectory of your life. You got to have a sense of urgency. The reason why a guy like ET, yes, motivator, inspirer, if that's a word, right? Giving inspiration, right? But the one thing that happens is that he has a sense of urgency of like, you got to do this now. You can't wait. You can't put this off. most successful people, if not all of them, have a sense of urgency to know that like all we got is right now. You might not be here in a month. You might not be here in a year. You might not be here in 5 years, 10 years. Like we have to go now. We have to make the sacrifices now. We have to change the behaviors now. Like all of this stuff has to happen now. You can't push this off into the future. So in the text, it says the great ones have a sense of urgency. I'll read it to you. It says the middle class performers operate like there's an endless amount of time in a day, week, month, year in life. The world class is extremely sensitive to time. The great ones have a sense of urgency because they are operating at a level of awareness that constantly reminds them the present moment is all any of us really have. The world class is on a mission to fulfill a dream, and they know the clock is ticking. The only time amateur performers develop a sense of urgency is toward the end of the day, week, or before they go on vacation. Imagine if they channeled that same energy, enthusiasm, and focus into their everyday performance. Worldwide productivity would probably triple in a day. Professional performers constantly remind themselves that life is short, and if they are going to make something happen, now is the time. This thought process makes the middle class uncomfortable. Remember, they prefer to operate in a state of mild delusion. Knowing the clock is ticking and none of us know how much time we have left is too uncomfortable for emotional amateurs. For pros who operate from objective reality, it's a primary motivating force. It's one of the reasons the great ones tend to pursue large, magnificent visions. They know their time on earth is limited and they want to leave a legacy. Their sense of urgency goes back to the beginning of the mental toughness process, clearly defining what you want. Say that again. Their sense of urgency goes back to the beginning of the mental toughness process, which is clearly defining what you want. What do you have a sense of urgency to do? If you know the answer, you can implement this world-class philosophy immediately. If not, make it your mission to discover the embers that burn within your soul and focus the passion on what you really want. Don't stop until you find it. When you do, create a sense of urgency to act on it now. Don't hesitate. Pursue your dream boldly and fearlessly. It may be later than you think. This mindset of sense of urgency is the opposite of, again, middle class thinking. I'm sure we all have people in our life that say, right, you only live once, right? I may not be here for long, so I'm just going to do what I want to do today. Sure, they probably don't have some magnificent vision because they probably don't know exactly what they want. That's why they just do things for today. They just live day by day. When I ask some people this question of, fast forward me out 10 years, tell me what your ideal life looks like, probably more than half of the responses I get is, I don't think that far. I don't think that far, right? I may not be here next week. They use this as like a way to say, I'm not going to have a sense of urgency to do anything. It's the opposite for world-class performers. It's the opposite of people that want to design their ideal life. Is we have the same thought of, we don't know when we're going to leave this earth. We don't know when God's going to call us home. But because we have big visions, we're going to get to work now. We're not going to just be distracted and do the things that our flesh wants to do, the things that we just want to do right now in life, because we have somewhere to go. Like we actually have a vision. We actually have something that we want to pass down. We care about our legacy. We care about things that are way beyond us, that are these, like it says in here, big, magnificent visions. We have those. And so that's why we create this sense of urgency to say, I got to do it now. I got to do it now. I would challenge and encourage all of you to bring this sense of urgency into your life. Again, number one, if you don't know what you want to make happen, start there. Spend 30 minutes a day with yourself. Spend an hour with yourself every day. By the way, if you make an excuse to say, I don't have 30 minutes for myself, you really got to check your priorities. We all get the same 24 hours in the day. We all get the same 24 hours. You have to be able to say, I'm going to block off these things because I need to take care of myself for at least 30 minutes out of the 24 hours you get, at least 30 minutes. So if you don't know what you want yet, if you don't have it written down somewhere that's clear, that's plain, if you don't have it written down, like start there. Really take some time. Cut off social media, cut off the distractions, stop listening to the people around you, get away from, disconnect from society for a little bit of time so you can be with your own thoughts and figure out what is it that you really want to make happen? What is it that you really want to make happen? I'm sure on another one of these calls, I'll talk about it that, right, the things that you want, that you think you want, really comes down to an emotional motivator. There's something you're trying to feel, something you're trying to experience in life. You might say, I really want the house, but it's really about what is that house, what's that going to make you feel? Is it going to make you feel significant because you finally got a house? Is it going to make you feel confident in yourself because you put your mind to a goal? Is it going to make you feel good because you have some security? It's probably a feeling behind it. The physical thing is not necessarily what you want. You might say you want $1 million, but it's not really that's what you want. You want how that's going to make you feel. Maybe it's going to make you feel more secure about your financial life. Maybe it's going to make you feel more secure to know that you can help other people. So we're all searching for a feeling. So when you get down to what is it that I actually want, you're going to have some material things, but it's really some emotional things that you really want. So ways that you want to feel, some things that you want to experience. Maybe you're not experiencing all the joy and happiness and peace in your life that you would like to, and you're trying to find things that will help you get that. Regardless, you got to spend time with yourself to figure out what it is you really want. And once you figure that out, man, this is really what I want. This is the legacy. This is what's going to make me feel like I'm contributing, that I have fulfillment, that I've done my work, that whatever God has put me on this earth to do, I'm actually fulfilling that. That is what I want to make happen. Then you go after it every single day. Once you know what it is, you start to shift your beliefs to know that it's possible, because the enemy, our talk track, will talk us out of it. Once you dream too big, our negative subconscious, that those negative thoughts come in and say, you don't know anybody that does that. That's going to be too hard. How would you even do that? Where would you start? How does that work? It's going to talk you out of the thing that you're saying that you want. So then this is where our mental toughness comes in. It's reprogramming those thoughts. Reprogramming those thoughts to say, I can have that. I do deserve that. I believe I can make that happen. And then through you changing your thinking, you're going to become a different person in order to get to that life. Because what got you here won't get you there. So you're going to have to change. Your money only grows to the degree that you do as a person. So if you're not growing and getting to the next level, the things around you, your financial life, those things, they're not going to change. They're not going to change. So this becomes the work that we have to be intentional about, that we have to pay attention to, clearly defining what we want, going after it every day, and changing our belief system to believe that it is possible to make that happen. Put that sense of urgency in our life. This is why some of you that jump on Wednesdays, I'll say there's no such thing as hump day. Right? Hump day was created by people that like 5 days and hate 2 days, or hate 5 days and like 2 days. Right? They hate their Monday through Friday life and they look forward to Saturday and Sunday. Well, imagine that was the life that you lived. What type of sense of urgency would you have if 5 days out of the 7 days that God gives us, you really don't like what you're doing? So you only look forward to 2 of the days. You're not going to get far. So we have to change our thinking to be like, man, I got 7 days at this thing. I don't know how long I'm going to have, but I know God gives me another day every day. I'm going to get my sense of urgency to say, you know what? I need to make this happen. I need to change my financial situation today. I need to change my thoughts today. I need to change my health today. Like, I need to do it now. Knowing that the clock is ticking, but knowing that we have big dreams, big visions that we got to go fulfill. Here's what this quote says. It says, one realizes the full importance of time only when there is little of it left. Every man's greatest capital asset is his unexpired years of productive life. We don't want to get to the end of our life. We don't want to get to the deathbed and say, man, I wish I would have. Man, I wish I would have been a little bit more risky. Man, I wish I wouldn't have been as scared. Man, I wish I would have tried that business. Man, I wish I really would have given it my all. Man, I wish I would have spent some more time with my kids. Man, I wish I would have changed my health. We don't want to get there because at some point, you're not going to have the energy to change it. So while you have the energy, while you're here on these calls, while you're showing up, waking up every morning with a purpose in mind, have a sense of urgency to get after it and go make it happen. The action step for today says to heighten your sense of urgency, do a little mathematical calculation. I might spare you on this, but it says based on statistics, the average man living in the 21st century in America will live 73 years. Average woman will live 79 years. Based on your current age and these statistics, how many days do you have left to live? Just know that the hourglass, the sand in the hourglass, it's going down. We don't know when. We don't know when it's over. That's why you have to live every single day with this sense of urgency, y'all. It's the thing that'll change your life. It's the thing that'll get you to the place that you want to go. You're welcome, BP. I appreciate you jumping on. I love all you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. Again, if no one ever tells you that, I'm always going to tell you that. I was just having this conversation with a client that I'm coaching, and we're going over some stuff last night, and he was like, man, you seem to believe in me more than I believe in me sometimes. And I was like, guess what? You need that in your life. Every once in a while, you need people around you that believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You have to borrow somebody else's belief to go off and change your life. So on these calls, I'm always going to tell you, I believe in you. You deserve the life that you're trying to head after. Your families deserve it. All the good things that you want to make happen, you deserve it. And it takes work. And it takes you changing. And it takes you stepping out of your comfort zone. And it takes you pushing against your fears. And it takes you doing all of these things in order to get there. But you can make it happen, y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Go out and do something that scares you this weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Take care, y'all. Have a good one.